Let's get clear on this. Success is yours to define, not society's, not your parents, not your friends. It's yours. And yet so many people spend their lives chasing a vision of success that was never truly theirs to begin with. This world loves to hand out definitions of success like a checklist. It's a certain job title, a big house, a luxury car, or a picture-perfect life. But what if none of that excites you? What if success for you means traveling the world, or raising a loving family, or making an impact in your community? Would you still chase the traditional version of success just because that's what everyone else is doing? Success is and should be personal. It should be unique because it's yours to create. And the moment you take ownership of what success means to you, everything changes. But here's where most people go wrong. They don't define success for themselves. They assume it's a vague feeling of accomplishment. They'll just know when they get there. But if you don't know what you're aiming for, how will you ever hit the target? You won't. And that's why so many people feel unfulfilled. They're chasing a goal they never set for themselves. So, start by getting clear. What does an ideal life look like for you? Not in someone else's eyes, but in your own. What excites you? What drives you? What makes you feel alive? Once you get that vision, write it down. Make it real. And then break it into steps. Success isn't achieved overnight. It's built piece by piece through daily action. And just so we understand each other, success isn't just about external achievements. It's about internal fulfillment. There are a lot of wealthy people in the world who are miserable because they chased a definition of success that had nothing to do with who they really are. Meanwhile, some of the happiest people have very little by society standards, but they wake up each day with purpose and joy. And that's real success. Once you define success on your terms, you have to protect it. Because the moment you start walking your own path, the world will start to question you. People will try to impose their own version of success onto you. They'll tell you what you should want, what you should do, and who you should be. But their definition is not your definition. Their dream is not your dream. The only way to truly succeed is to stay focused on your vision. Stop measuring your life by someone else's ruler. Stop worrying about what others think. The only approval you need is your own. So take some time today and reflect. What does success mean to you? What does a fulfilled life look like in your eyes? And once you have that answer, write it down, commit to it, and start taking action. Because success isn't given, it's created, and it's yours to define. Have you ever felt good about something? Your progress, your success, your happiness, until you saw someone else doing better. You were proud of your work until you scrolled through social media and saw someone achieving more. You felt confident until you walked into a room and noticed someone who seemed smarter, wealthier, or more accomplished. That moment right there, that's the moment joy is stolen from you. Comparison is the thief of joy. It doesn't just take your happiness, it drains your motivation, steals your energy, and blinds you from your own success. It makes you feel like what you have isn't enough, when in reality, it was enough before you looked at someone else. But what you need to understand is this: comparison is an illusion. The moment you compare yourself to someone else, You're seeing only a fraction of their reality. You're looking at their highlight reel, not their struggles. You see their victories, but not the failures it took to get there. You see their confidence, but not their insecurities. And yet you let this incomplete picture dictate how you feel about yourself. And that has to stop, because every second you spend comparing, you're robbing yourself of appreciation. You're ignoring your own growth. You're denying yourself the credit you deserve. So how do you break free of this toxic cycle? First, focus on your own journey. Your path is yours. No one else has lived your experiences, fought your battles, or overcome your obstacles. Your success cannot and should not look like anyone else's. The only comparison worth making is to who you were yesterday. Second is control your environment. Social media, TV, even the people you surround yourself with. Everything influences your perception of success. Be mindful of what you consume. If something constantly makes you feel less than, well, unfollow it, mute it, step away from it, protect your peace. Third, celebrate others without diminishing yourself. Just because someone else is winning doesn't mean you're losing. Success is not a limited resource. Someone else's greatness does not take away from your own. So clap for others and then get back to your own work. Number 4 is practice gratitude daily. Nothing destroys comparison faster than gratitude. When you actively focus on what's good in your life, you stop obsessing over what others have. Write down your wins, recognize your strengths, and own your achievements. At the end of the day, your joy belongs to you. Don't hand it over to the illusion of someone else's life. Because when you stop comparing, you start thriving. When you stop looking sideways, you start moving forward. And when you stop chasing someone else's version of success, you finally step into your own. So choose yourself, choose your journey, and don't let comparison steal another moment of your joy. When life takes a wrong turn, our instinct very often is to point outward. We blame circumstances, people, or even fate, like the job market isn't fair, the economy is terrible, that person betrayed me. Blame is easy. It allows us to protect our ego, to avoid discomfort, and to tell ourselves that our struggles are beyond our control. And it may be hard to hear, but blame won't fix anything. It won't move you forward. It won't rewrite your story. The only thing that can truly create change is taking responsibility for your life. Now, responsibility doesn't mean self-criticism. It doesn't mean tearing yourself down or carrying guilt for everything that goes wrong. It means owning your role in your circumstances so that you can actually do something about it. Because if you refuse to acknowledge your part in the situation, you also give up the power to change it. If your career is stuck in neutral, what are you doing to develop your skills, expand your network, or create new opportunities? If your relationships keep ending in heartbreak, what patterns are you repeating? Are you choosing the same kind of partner? Are you bringing unresolved wounds into every connection? If your health is declining, why haven't you prioritized your well-being? Are you making excuses instead of making changes? There's an old saying, when you point a finger at someone else, 3 fingers point back at you. And that's not meant to shame you. It's meant to wake you up. Because if you created the problem, then you also have the ability to create the solution. That's where the power lies. This mindset shift isn't easy. It requires humility. It requires self-awareness. And it requires the courage to look at yourself honestly, without judgment, but with a determination to improve. It's not about blaming yourself, it's about empowering yourself. You probably know people who constantly blame the world for their problems. What happens to them? They stay stuck. They wait for external forces to change, hoping for a lucky break, waiting for someone to come and fix things for them. But the people who take responsibility, they adapt, they grow, they find a way. They learn from failure instead of being defined by it. When things go wrong, it's time to reflect, adjust, and take action. Instead of complaining about the things you can't control, focus on what you can. Instead of dwelling on what's broken, look for ways to rebuild. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Change takes time. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when it's tempting to fall back into old habits of blame and frustration. But every time you choose to take responsibility instead, you take another step forward. At the end of the day, the most powerful transformation you'll ever experience won't come from luck or external circumstances. It will come from the moment you decided to stop waiting and start owning every part of your life. How often have you told yourself, one day I'll get around to it. One day I'll take that leap. One day I'll chase my dream. One day I'll start living the life I know I'm capable of. One day is easy, isn't it? It feels safe. It whispers promises of future greatness while keeping you exactly where you are. But here's the thing, one day never comes. It's always out there, somewhere in the distance. And every time you push your goals to one day, you're pushing your potential further out of reach. But there's another option. Today can be day one. Day one isn't glamorous. It's not about massive achievements or instant results. It's about stepping forward. However uncertain or unprepared you feel, it's about beginning, even when you're scared or unsure. Take a moment to think about some of the most successful people in any field, like athletes, entrepreneurs, or artists. They didn't get there by waiting for the perfect time. They got there by deciding that day one mattered more than waiting for the right circumstances. They started training, writing, building, creating, long before they were ready. What about you? Maybe there's something you've been postponing, a business idea you've been sitting on, a fitness goal that feels too big, a life change that you're afraid to make. It's easy to convince yourself that you'll start when things settle down or when you're ready. But let me tell you something, there will never be a perfect time. The only perfect time is the moment you decide to begin. Day one doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require clarity or confidence. It only requires a decision to move, however small the step may seem. Think of this. Every incredible journey starts with a single step. The first step may feel awkward, uncertain, or even frustrating. But that step is where momentum begins. It's where you prove to yourself that you're capable. Here's the hard truth, is that waiting for one day is like running on a treadmill. You're moving, but you're not getting anywhere. On the other hand, day one is a path forward. It's progress. And progress, no matter how slow, is always better than standing still. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for the fear to disappear or the conditions to feel just right. The fear won't go away, and the conditions will never be perfect. You have to move forward despite the fear and despite the imperfection. So what will it be? Will today be another one day? Or will it be day one? You don't need all the answers, and you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. Life rewards action, not plans, not intentions, but action. Every dream, every goal, every great achievement begins with someone who made the bold decision to stop waiting and start doing. One day or day one, choice is yours. Fear is a powerful emotion. It can freeze us in our tracks, stifle our dreams, and keep us from reaching our true potential. Fear of failure in particular can be paralyzing. It whispers in our ears telling us that we're not good enough, we'll never succeed, and we might as well not try. However, fear is a natural part of life and it doesn't have to control us. Let's explore how you can overcome fear and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. First, acknowledge your fear. The first step in overcoming fear is to acknowledge it. We often try to ignore our fears or pretend they don't exist, but when we do that, we give them power. So identify what you're afraid of. Is it failing at a job? Losing a relationship? By naming your fear, you take the first step towards diminishing its power. Remember, it's okay to be afraid. Everyone experiences fear. It's how you respond that matters. And then shift your perspective on failure. We often view failure as a dead end, a reason to stop trying. But what if we looked at it differently? Failure is just a stepping stone. Every successful person has faced failure at some point. It's how we learn, adapt, grow, and improve. Embrace the mindset that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And then take small steps. Fear often feels overwhelming, but you can break it down into manageable steps. Start small. If you're afraid of public speaking, let's say, begin by talking to a small group of friends. Gradually increase your audience as your confidence grows. Each small step you take diminishes the power of fear, and celebrate those victories, no matter how small. See yourself succeeding. Visualization is a powerful tool. When you picture yourself succeeding, you create a positive association with the outcome. So spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself overcoming your fear. See yourself succeeding, feeling confident, and achieving your goals. This mental rehearsal prepares you to face your fears and reinforces your belief in your abilities. Surround yourself with support. Your environment can significantly impact your mindset. Surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you and encourage you to face your fears. Share your goals and fears with them. They can offer valuable perspectives and encouragement. Join groups or communities where others are working to overcome similar fears. You'll realize you're not alone, and that camaraderie can provide immense strength. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion, please. Fear can often lead to negative self-talk, which only adds to the pressure. Practice mindfulness techniques, such as meditation or deep breathing, to center yourself and reduce anxiety. Be kind to yourself. Recognize that it's okay to be afraid, and treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend. Let's embrace fear as part of your journey. Overcoming fear isn't about eliminating it completely. It's about learning to dance with it. Recognize that fear is a signal. It's a sign that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, which is often where growth happens. Every time you face a fear, you're building resilience, courage, and strength. So don't let fear stop you. Instead, use it as fuel to propel you forward. Let's get clear on something right now. Your biggest competition isn't out there. It's not your colleague, your friend, or some stranger on social media. it's you. The battle is between the version of you who's playing small and the one who knows you're capable of more. It's you versus you every single day. The problem is too many people blame the world for where they are in life. They look at others and think, well, if I had what they had, I'd be winning too. Well, no one is holding you back except the person in the mirror. It's not your circumstances. It's not your lack of resources. It's you, your habits, your excuses, your beliefs. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? Or how many times did you quit when things got tough? That's your opponent right there. The version of you that settles, slacks off, and lets discomfort dictate your actions. If you're tired of falling short, you need to outwork, outthink, and outlast that version of yourself. The truth is, comfort is your enemy. Every time you take the easy route, you reinforce a habit that holds you back. Comfort whispers lies, telling you to stay safe, stay small, stay the same. But growth only comes when you push through discomfort. The difference between existing and excelling lies in the choices you make when no one's watching. The greatest athletes, artists, and leaders, they don't compete with others, they compete with themselves. Every day they aim to be a little better than they were the day before. And it's not about perfection, it's about progress. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to become a better version of yourself on a regular basis. So let's get practical. Winning against yourself starts with the small stuff. So did you get out of bed when your alarm went off, or did you hit snooze? Did you give 100% today, or did you coast through it all? Did you focus on your goals, or did you scroll your life away on social media? See, every small decision counts. Success isn't about grand moments. It's built in those small daily choices. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you win. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you win. And every time you push just a little bit more than you thought you could, you close the gap between who you are today and who you want to be in the future. And stop comparing yourself to others. Their journey isn't yours. You don't know what they had to sacrifice, and frankly, it doesn't matter. What matters is how much you're growing. The only person you need to beat is the one you were yesterday. Let's be clear, this isn't easy. There will be days you feel tired, discouraged, or tempted to quit. But those moments are where winners are made. Winners don't quit. They adjust, regroup, and keep going. If you fall, you get back up. If you fail, you learn and try again. Winning isn't about never falling, it's about never staying down. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're the author of your story. And if the life you're living isn't what you want, you have the power to change it. But change requires action, and action requires that you show up and fight every day against yourself. The good news is you don't have to make massive changes overnight. Focus on small wins, 1% better every day. Over time, those small wins will compound, and one day you'll wake up and realize you've become the person you always knew you could be. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. Today, you decide. Will you win, or will you let yourself off the hook again? Your future is watching, and it's time to fight. Today's going to be a day to get back up and get back in the fight. I mean, we've all been there, that moment when life knocks you down so hard and it feels impossible to get back up. I mean, maybe you work tirelessly towards a goal, only to see it slip through your fingers. Maybe you put your heart into something, your career, a relationship, or a dream, and it didn't turn out the way you'd hoped. And I know it hurts. And in those moments, it's easy to feel defeated and to question everything. But what you need to remember is defeat is not the end. It's a part of the process. Every person who has achieved success, every person you admire, they've had their own version of failures. They've been knocked down, just like you. But the difference is they chose to get back up. They didn't let defeat define them. In fact, they used it as fuel to keep them going. When you're in the middle of a tough defeat, it can feel overwhelming. You might be asking yourself, why did this happen to me? Or what's the point of trying again? But the truth is, it's not about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it, how you choose to stand back up, to dust yourself off and keep moving forward. Really, think of a baby learning to walk. They don't get it right the first time. They'll fall over and over again. But as a baby, they don't see those falls as failures. They see them as part of learning. And with each fall, they get stronger, more determined. And eventually they figure it out because they didn't give up. Life's the same way. The setbacks you face today are not there to stop you. They're there to teach you, to make you stronger and more resilient. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to take a moment to catch your breath. But don't stay down. Don't let that tough defeat be the final chapter of your story. Instead, let it be the chapter where you rise, where you prove to yourself just how strong you really are. Because you are stronger than you think. Every defeat, every failure, that's a step towards something greater. It's not a sign that you're not good enough. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to come back even better. It's imperative to remember that the road to success isn't a straight line. It's full of twists and turns and, yes, setbacks. But those setbacks are what make the victories so much sweeter. And no matter how tough it feels right now, you have the power to rise above it. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Remind yourself that this defeat does not define you. What defines you is your ability to keep going, no matter how many times life tries to knock you down. Because in the end, it's not the defeat that matters, it's what you do next. Do you consider yourself strong? And you can frame my question any way you like, be it physical strength or mental strength. Take a minute right now to give yourself a self-evaluation. But consider this. What made you strong? If it's the physical strength you've been pondering, what made those muscles? If it was your mental strength, what brought on your inner power? I'll answer both of these questions because in each case, what made you stronger was resistance. See, you didn't build those muscles unless you were lifting or pushing something heavy. You needed the resistance to force those muscles to grow. That mental strength you've got, well, it came from overcoming experiences or reframing past experiences to your advantage. When life brought you challenges, you took them on and they made you stronger. And that's where I want to go with this video. Because so many of us try to avoid the very things that ultimately will make us stronger. We try to avoid the resistance because it's uncomfortable. But we forget that this temporary pain will only make us stronger in the long run. It's all about how we view the situation. If I want bigger muscles, I have to hit the weights and do the uncomfortable things. Because what'll happen is the muscles will repair and they'll grow bigger. There's no other way. Same thing for mental strength. I can't skip the uncomfortable situations and think that I'll be better off for it. No, the way to build that mental muscle is to go through what is uncomfortable. Because when I do, after the dust has settled, I'll see that I've survived. And now I have the knowledge and experience that these situations have brought me. The reason we try to avoid growth, be it physical or mental, is because it's uncomfortable. We've attached pain to it. What we forget to see is that beyond the pain, well, there lies the pleasure. There lies the growth we'll get by having gone through the pain. Take a minute right now and think about the things you've been putting off. Maybe it's going to the gym, or it's a project that you keep delaying because you're not sure where to start. What pain have you attached to it? Write it down. Let it sink in. Now, write down what pleasure you'll get by taking action now. Feel it enter your body. Remember that you've overcome so much already, and all of it has made you stronger. This next chapter is no different. These little challenges or obstacles you're facing right now, well, they're nothing but the resistance you need to build the strengths that'll make you even more powerful in the end. There's a reason why planes take off against the wind. It's because they need the resistance to climb higher, and you are no different. Today's pain is tomorrow's pleasure. Take it on. Your future self will thank you.